I would like to invite Tanya to be our first person to share what has happened. Tanya, I'm so glad you're here and thank you for being willing to share your story.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I can't believe I'm first. Woohoo!
So, Tanya, um, before coming into this community and saying yes, I want to be a real Boldheart, I'm joining the program. What was it like in your business? Like, can you share numbers or frustrations, or just tell me
Yeah,
whatever you can say?
definitely. I see lots of friends saying hi to me in the chat. Hi guys. For me, I had coaches before, and some of them were like one-on-one coaches, and some of them were, other types of programs, but it kind of could only get me so far. And I had this vision in my mind for kind of where I wanted to take things, but I did not see any way that it would get like that, because I had been hustling so much. I was really proud of like my six figures. Like I was making probably close to 200,000 a year. And a lot of that was really my blood, sweat, and tears. Like I was working whenever, I mean, all the time. It was really, really hard. I had so much of the not good enoughs, and even to the point where I feel like some of my clients would come to me and like, if they were like 5 minutes late, I was like, oh my God, like this is going to ruin everything, because, my life is so stacked. And that's what it was like before I joined Boldheart. And actually, when I learned about Boldheart, there were a few things that really stuck out for me. And I was pretty skeptical, because I was like,
Yeah,
oh, coaching
okay to say that.
programs, there's a million of them. Like everybody is just, going to tell me to think in a different direction than I want to go. And, when I started in Boldheart, a few things that I noticed. One was that the community was like it was thrilling for me to be around people that were trying to do similar things in different industries. Like I'm a midwife. Most people in Boldheart are not midwives. They're other things. And it was really thrilling for me to really learn from people who are in other industries how I could be an industry leader, and making those friendships and those connections. And then, of course, the other thing was sort of the system for being able to learn to get a rock star team that had my back, that I could afford to pay for, that they would want to stay and work with me and further the work that we were doing. All of these suggestions that I took from Access to You, Access to Summer, she's the leverage coach, access to everybody at Boldheart and all of the materials. And, definitely, I would say it was a big ask for me to let go of being in control of every single little thing. But what happened to me, and if you know my story, then just fall asleep through this part. But what happened to me
No,
was
it's so inspiring for everybody.
what happened to me was that, I, smart enough to take suggestion. Like Summer was like, you need to get, somebody said to me, like, if you don't have an assistant, then you are your assistant.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I'm doing like, if you don't have a bookkeeper, then you're your bookkeeper. Like if you don't have, you're all the things. And I was like, well, no wonder I'm so unhappy. So, and I can't earn any more money. Like if I stop doing this, I'm not going to be able to earn money and to get my message out. So what happened to me was I took little steps, little suggestions, and then it's going to rain here. And then I got breast cancer. And when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, I had this fledgling team that I didn't trust, didn't know how to trust, didn't know how to be a boss, didn't know how to let go. I didn't know how to do any of that. but I had to. And my team was like, Tanya, we got you. Like, focus on your health right now. Focus
Mhm.
on getting better. Focus on what this means in your life, you
You
know?
you were learning how to leverage a team, how to leverage systems. And for the first time, maybe in the past, it had been like a nice to have, or maybe I should think about one day doing that. And all of a sudden, life like just threw you up against the wall and said, it's time, Tanya. It's time to listen and to leverage your team, leverage your systems. And what happened?
Oh, so we grew while I was going through cancer treatment. And this year, actually, since starting Boldheart, we're projected this year to, I think that our income has now quadrupled. We're still not quite a million yet, but I think probably in the next year or two or so we'll get there. I've been in Boldheart for 3 years. So I did 2 years of leverage and now I'm in masters. Yeah. And that was the big thing for me. And I, on my own, for me, like the mindset stuff, I didn't have the capability to believe that. I think even that I deserved to have a life
Yeah.
and to make money and to have a career that was inspiring people and helping people and, having so much meaning to it. And now what I feel like is that I can spend my time in my business having a lot of fun, like teaching, catching babies, inspiring people with uteruses. It's really great. And training more and more people to help people in the community who are having babies, which is part of what we do. And somebody does the website,
Yeah.
somebody does the social media, somebody does all the things, and we're making more money than ever. I have an amazing team. One of the things we learn in Boldheart is that you deserve to have everybody on your team be a 10, and everybody on my team is a 10,
Yeah.
and they're not going anywhere.
First of all, can we just give her a clap or a comment of like Tanya just kind of glided by the fact that she was about at 200 and she quadrupled her revenues in 3 years, you guys. She's nearing a million. Like, seriously, this does not necessarily happen in the muggle world. What is it, Tanya, about? Yeah, so like, let's celebrate her, okay? Like, let's celebrate a woman making her own money and lots of it and having more downtime than ever before, even going through cancer treatment, her business is growing. Like, let's not forget to celebrate that. Tanya, what is it what are the different elements of being in the program that you enjoy? Is it the strategy call? Is it your pod, your masterminding? Is it the Q&A calls with me? Is it the implementation sessions? Is it the activators? Is it like, what is it?
So all of those things are amazing. And it's great that there's a calendar where I have to come to Boldheart because I'm in it.
Yeah.
But actually, there's one common thread through all of those things. And the approach is that the coaches, they totally, whatever excuse I have, whatever story I'm telling myself, whatever it is, they've totally met me before. And every single person in the community has met me before. And of course, they get to know me as an individual. But what all the unique things that I have to offer, the resistance that comes in front of it is actually not unique at all. And I feel like Boldheart was the first time that I came someplace where everybody understood.
Everybody understands. How's the community at Boldheart?
The best.
Why?
The best. Authentic, inspiring, authentic. I have accountability through that. I've met people in other places that have helped me to further my business. I've learned about other industries to help to model my industry after what people, I can't just look at other midwives because,
They're not necessarily doing 800,000 a year and looking to get to 1.5.
And they're not having as much of an impact. They're taking care of one person at a time, and it's very important. And don't get me wrong, but I have always had this feeling like I had a lot more to do, and I couldn't just do that with one-on-one client appointments. And so that's what I've got.
Tanya, sometimes people sit on the fence for a while, or they hear like, they're thinking like, oh yeah, this sounds really good, but there's a resistance. Maybe it's a resistance around the money. to invest. Maybe they've never invested in themselves. Maybe it's the spouse or what the accountant will say, or I've tried other programs and I didn't do the work or it didn't work there. So what makes me think that it'll work here? Whatever the resistance was that you had, how did you overcome it? What was it and how did you overcome it?
So I definitely was a little bit sour by all of the coaching programs that were kind of coming at me. Um, I just kind of felt like there was a lot of contact with the coach. And then once I got into it, they were just nowhere to be found and I was on my own. I will say that this program was definitely the most expensive program that I had ever enrolled in. But when I met the people from Boldheart and I talked with the team, and this is back when we were in person, but still I was asking, so what happens if we miss something? And they were like, well, try not to miss anything. And I was like, oh, try not to miss anything. But no, because we need
Concept.
You're going to get the most out of it if you're really there, and we're going to hold you accountable. So if you're not going to be there, let us know. I mean, of course, everybody has lives, but it's the first time somebody really held me accountable for prioritizing and saying, show up. And you've said it, Fabienne, follow the recipe, give
Always
yourself
follow
a chance. Yeah. And so that was really, really, really big for me. And so I think when I learned about how I was really going to not get thrown into the mix, I was actually going to be taken care of. Not just from one coach, which I don't know how I thought like, oh, one-on-one coaching. Yeah, that's what it's actually the community that it's like all these people were lifting me up the whole time. And
it's the collective wisdom of all of us on the team at Boldheart, including me and all of the content and the activators. But then you have the collective wisdom of the community. I know that a lot of people think, oh, I'll just get an individual coach. And while I support individual coaches, you get so much more in this environment. Somebody's on the fence. What would you say to them in final words?
I would say that if you're ready to finally make a difference in your career, do it. Do this for yourself.
Yeah.
You won't regret it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Fabienne.